Hello, it's Sonia here with The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be making another 18-inch doll project. This is going to be a pretty easy one, and we're making a skirt. And you can use a variety of yarns. I am going to be using this, it's probably like a fingering weight yarn. It's actually a really pretty mint green. It almost looks white on camera, but it's a mint green. And then I'm going to add some white with it too. So this is more of a closer to fingering weight. They call it's some old yarn in my stash. They call it baby yarn, but whatever that means. But it can be used for more than just babies. But you could also use decate weight yarn. Whoops, we got a stray piece of yarn there. We're not using that. You could use decate weight yarn, or I would say a very light worsted weight yarn, or number 4. So what I mean by that is probably like Caron Simply Soft, I would say, is in between like a decate weight and a worsted weight, or even some yarns from Knit Picks. I find that their worsted weight, a number 4 yarn, is a little bit of a lighter weight, so you could definitely use that. I wouldn't use like a Red Heart Super Saver for this. I think it would just look too bulky. And we are using our G hook, or 4.25 millimeter hook. I do have a written pattern for this. This is quite an old skirt pattern that I made. I mean, it's over 10 years old, but I was looking at some patterns and I'm like, this is super, super cute. So I thought, you know what? I need to make a video of it. All right, so to get started with this guy, we are going to chain 55. And the nice thing with this project is it's made from the waist down. So you can actually make this skirt as long as you would like, or as short as you would like. You can add as many different colors as you would like. So it's pretty versatile as far as that goes. You can really personalize it. So you are going to want to chain 55 to get started with this. Okay, so here we go. We have our 55 chains. So what we want to do is we want to turn this guy into a circle. So you want to be careful that you do not twist your chain. So I usually like to run my thumb and index finger, and I just run it down the chain so everything is facing the same way. And we're just going to join with a slip stitch in our very first chain. So right there, and we're just joining with a slip stitch. So now we have our nice circle. So for round 1, this is made in rounds. We are going to chain 3. So this chain 3 is going to count as a half double crochet and a chain 1 space. So what we want to do next is we're going to skip our next chain here, and we're going to half double crochet in the next one. And now we're starting our repeat here. So we are going to chain 1, skip the next chain, and half double crochet. So we're repeating this all the way around. We're chaining 1, skipping our next chain, working a half double crochet in the next. And you can work in your chain however you like. So chaining 1, skip our next chain, half double crochet in the next. So we're just going to repeat that all the way around. So I'm going to do the rest of this off camera and I will meet you back. Okay, so I'm at my very last chain here, so I still need to complete. I've already chained 1, and so we are going to join on top of the first chain 2, because we chained 3 to start with. And so if we join on top of the first chain 2, so you just start from the count from the bottom, 1, 2, that's going to create our double crochet and our chain 1 space right there. So now we're ready for round 2. Round 2, we're going to chain 3. We are going to double crochet in this next chain 1 space and double crochet in the next half double crochet. And we're just, and this counts as a double crochet, this chain 3 here. So we're going to do this all the way around. So we're going to double crochet in the next chain 1 space and double crochet on top of the half double crochet. So we're just doing this all the way around for round 2. I am almost done round 2. I have my last double crochet in that last chain 1 space. So at the end of round 2, I am going to have a total of 56 stitches, and I want to join on top of that first chain 3 with a slip stitch there. So now we're ready for round 3. So round 2, 56 double crochet, round 1, 28 chain 1 spaces. Okay, so round 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to single crochet right on top of that first chain 3. And now we are going to skip our next double crochet here, and we're going to work a shell stitch in our next one. So that consists of 5 double crochet all in the same stitch. So just working 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we are going to skip our next stitch and we're going to single crochet in the next. So this is the start of our repeat here. So we're skipping that stitch, we're single crocheting in the next stitch. We are skipping the next one and working the shell in the next double crochet. So 5 double crochet all in that same stitch. I love shell stitches. They are some of my very favorites in crochet. I think they're so pretty. And there's all different variations of shell stitches. This is just a very basic one. And 5 double crochet. So we're just repeating this around, skipping the next, single crochet, skipping the next stitch, and then working the shell in the next one. So I'm going to do that all the way around for round 3, and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up round 3. And so to finish up, we just need to join in our first single crochet with a slip stitch there. So now we have 14 shells for round 3. So now we're ready to begin round 4. So round 4, we are going to chain 3. And we're going to work 4 double crochet right in that same stitch. So we're creating a shell. So altogether we have 5 double crochet because our chain 3 will count as a stitch. Alright, it counts as a double crochet. So we're going to skip 2 double crochet and we're going to single crochet on top of the next one. So an easy way to remember where to work is you're just going to crochet in that center stitch of your shell. So there's 5 stitches. So in stitch 3 there, we're just working that single crochet. And then we're going to work our shell stitch in our next single crochet. So this is a pretty easy pattern once you get the, the setup rows going here. Or setup rounds, I should say, as we're working in the round. So I'm working my 5 double crochet. So we're going to skip our 2 double crochet and single crochet in the next. So we're just repeating this all the way around. So you're working your 5 double crochet in each single crochet stitch and a single crochet in that center stitch of your shell. So pretty easy round for round 4. So I'm going to keep going off camera working my round 4 and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up my round 4 here. So we are going to join on top of that first chain 3. I have my last single crochet there. And round 4 is complete. So now we're going to begin round 5. So you're going to slip stitch in the next stitch here, our next double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch in the next double crochet. That center one of our shell, we are going to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet right in that same stitch there. And now we're going to work a shell in our next single crochet stitch, so our 5 double crochet. And we're going to skip our next 2 stitches, and we're working in that center stitch of our shell and working that single crochet in that center stitch, and then we work a shell in the next single crochet, and we just repeat that all the way around for round 5. So I'm going to do that off camera and I will meet you back. Okay, so I am finishing up my round 5. I'm just joining with a slip stitch. So what you're going to want to do for this pattern is you're going to want to repeat rounds 4 and 5, and I'm going to be working 13 rounds, and that puts the skirt around like knee length. Now if you wanted your skirt longer, then you could definitely work more rounds, and I would just, you know, end on whatever round that you wanted when it was long enough, and then we'll work our last round. Now I said before I'm going to use white, and I want to have like a stripe. Probably I'll do it like around on round 11, just towards the bottom of the skirt, but you can feel free to add as many colors as you would like. If you wanted to do every color, every row or every round a different color, you certainly could do that. You could get really creative with this. So we're going to start round 4, but this is technically round 6. So that's chaining 3 and working that 4 double crochet in that same stitch to create that first shell. And then we skip our 2 and we're working our single crochet on top of our center shell, and then we work our shell in our next single crochet stitch. So I said before, repeat rounds 4 and 5. I'm working to round 13, but you can work yours longer, or you can make it even shorter. If you just wanted a little mini skirt, you can certainly do that as well. So I'm going to keep going here till I get to round 13 and I will meet you back. Okay, so I have worked up to round 13 here. I have 13 rounds. So this skirt is hitting my doll like right around the knee area. But if you wanted yours longer, you can just certainly keep repeating rows 4 and 5. And as you can see, I just added some white. I did 2 rounds of the white and then have the green there. So for your last round, to finish up, so this will be round 14 for me. But again, if you want yours longer, you just keep working rounds 4 and 5, and you can end on a round 4 or a round 5. It's completely up to you. It's fine. But our last round is just going to be a single crochet round. So I've chained 1, single crochet in that stitch, and I'm just working a single crochet all the way around. And then when I reach the end, so 1 stitch in each, I am going to join with my first stitch with a slip stitch, and then we will get ready to work on the tie to cinch it closed, or you can use a ribbon for that. But I'm going to finish up my last round here and I will meet you back. Alright, so I've worked my single crochet all the way around, and at the end I'm just going to join with a slip stitch, and then I am going to cut my yarn. And so the skirt is complete. Now if you don't want to do the single crochet round, you certainly don't have to, but I just think it gives a slightly more finished look, and I think it's a really sweet little skirt. And so now we need to work on the tie for the top here. Now you can just use a ribbon if you want, but I'm gonna make a tie. And the nice thing with this project is it should fit most 18-inch dolls, because some 18-inch dolls can vary a little bit in their waist sizes. So this one, you know, you'll just weave in the tie and then, you know, pull it, tie it, you know, cinch it and tie it, and so you won't have to worry about that. So let's make the tie. So I'm just going to use white here because I only have a teeny bit left of the green. So I have this much. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to make it with the green. Let's see what we're going to play yarn chicken as I am trying to bust my stash and use up my yarn stash. So we've got this much left. So let's see if it'll be enough. I'm going to live dangerously here. All right, so as I said before, you could certainly just use a ribbon, but I'm going to make an actual tie for this. So to start off with, we're just going to chain 75. So here is my chain. I actually chained 65. I thought 75 would actually be too long, so I did 65. So let's continue working on this tie. So this is just the first half of the tie. So what we're going to do next is I always like to create like a little bit of a bobble, or sometimes I make flowers just to make the ends a little bit more interesting. And I don't like just using a chain for a tie because, as you can see, it just doesn't look that finished or nice. I mean, it's fine, but it's, you know, just, I don't know, I just don't think it looks as nice as what we're gonna do. So what I want to do is just create a little bobble on the end here. So I'm yarned over, and then in my fourth chain from my hook, I'm going to insert my hook. I'm going to pull up a loop like we were working a double crochet. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to yarn over again, go right back in that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm just going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So now I have my little bobble there on the end, and what you want to do next is we're just going to slip stitch in the next chain, and we're going to slip stitch up the rest of the chain. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, is you will chain 65 and then work the little bobble, and then you'll slip stitch up the chain, and then you can cut your yarn. So I'm just slip stitching in my chain. You can work in your chain however you like. So I'm going to keep going here, and I'm going to see if I have enough yarn. I'm hoping it's going to be close, I think. All right, I'll meet you back. So if I don't have enough yarn, I will make one in the white. But, you know, so you'll see. Let's see what color we end up with here. So I will meet you back. All right, so you can see I had to use the white because I didn't have enough of the green. So here we go. Here is our tie, both ends, with our little bobble there. So what I need to do is I need to cut my yarn. Okay, so what you can see is we do have 2 ends here that we need to take care of. So what I usually do is I'll weave in like that. So I'm going to take my yarn needle. So here is my yarn needle, and I'll just poke it in the one end here. So I'm just kind of hiding the end within the tie. And when it's, it'll make it slightly bulkier, but because it's going to be woven in the waistband, you're really not going to notice it. And you can have your tie whether you tie it in the front or have your tie in the back. It's however you want to style it. So I'll do the other side here. And I like this method because, well, as you can see, this just looks a little bit nicer than just using a chain. And then you don't have any ends that'll poke out down here. Instead, you have the cute little bobble at the end. Now, as I said before a couple times, you can certainly just use a ribbon if you prefer. So you'll just cut your ribbon so that it would fit comfortably around the waist of the doll, and then weave that in and then you know, you use that as your tie for your skirt. Alright, then I can just pull that, and I'm going to snip those little ends that are poking out with this one. I actually might be able to hide. No, it's not hiding. Okay, so you can see it's pretty hidden in there. So what you're going to do to finish up your project, of course you need to weave in these ends here, and then you will take your tie and just weave it in those spaces that we created. And as I said before, you can either have your tie in the back or have it in the front, and then I just suggest sliding the legs in first and then just shimmy it up and then tie your skirt, and you're all good to go. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.